Hi, Facebook fam. How are you all today? Thank you for tuning in for the Speak Life Moment Show. I am Sherry Jones, your Speak Life midwife, and I'm excited to be here with you all this evening. As you know, I have to loop in Pop Gospel Speaks Radio, and I will be doing that in one moment. Let me shift Instagram over just a little bit, pop that up. And we will be starting momentarily. Hope that you all had a wonderful day today, a wonderful Monday. It's always great to start a new week, just to have another day in the land of the living, y'all. And what we're talking about tonight is having an attitude of gratitude. So that's going to tie right in. All right, it's 9 o'clock. I'm about to loop in Pop Gospel Speaks Radio. Hello, 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 everyone. This is Sherry Jones of Sherry Speaks Life. I am excited to be here with you all today. Welcome to all of my listeners on Pop Gospel Speaks Radio, on Facebook, IG, and YouTube. I'm just streaming everywhere, y'all, right? But I'm so excited to be here with you all this evening. Just to shout out a couple of people on Facebook. I see Samantha and Monica and Dolores. Thank you all for tuning in on Instagram. I see Lady E. So, Lady E Mama, thank you so much for tuning in. And so tonight we are talking about having an attitude of gratitude. We hear that a lot, don't we? Oh, you should be grateful. It's a wonderful day. But how many of you all know that 2020 has been a little challenging? And we don't always want to have an attitude of gratitude. Sometimes it's hard to have an attitude of gratitude when you're looking at everything that is going on in our world. When you're looking at COVID and you see the numbers are rising and rising every day. They were going down for a little bit. Now they're back up. Things are shutting down again. Kids are still out of school. Kids are still doing virtual. I was just looking at the news and they were talking about how children between the ages of 5 and 11 are suffering more from mental illness because of the effects of not being in school. That's hard, y'all. Children that young, because they're used to having that social interaction with their peers and they need that. And it's hard for them in some places where they're not able to go back to school. I know here we are hybrid. So our children go to school 2 days a week. So at least they're getting that interaction. But some places haven't even done that yet. And so it's just so hard. And so then when you look at that, then you look at all the political drama that we had. I'm sure like a lot of you, I hope you all were kind of like me. I was so glad when the election was over. Y'all just don't know. I was like, after all this time, it seemed like the campaigning went on forever and ever and ever. And it was finally to a close. Then it seemed like, well, no, because our current president is protesting. But now he's admitted that, okay, somebody else won. But it's still just a toss up with that transition of power. So all of that is stressful. It was stressful if your candidate didn't win. And, so you're upset because of that. It's a lot. And then, of course, we had, a protest and Black Lives Matter and George Floyd and all of that, y'all. 2020 has been something else. Has it not? It's been something else. And so in the midst of all of that, then we're still expected to have an attitude of gratitude. What? I know y'all are thinking, I don't know. I don't know how I could do that. I don't know if I'm in the right headspace for that. Well, I'm here to help you, okay? Sherry Jones, your Speak Life midwife. I'm here to help you speak life and have an attitude of gratitude, even in the midst of everything that is going on in 2020. Okay, so are y'all ready to take this journey with me? We're going to take this journey. We're going to learn how to have an attitude of gratitude. All right, so the first thing that we have to do to have an attitude of gratitude is to focus on the positive. And I know you're thinking, well, Sherry, you just told us about all this negative. You told us about kids suffering. You told us about, the election. You told us about Black Lives Matter. Oh, that's not positive, right? But that's what we want to do. We kind of want to focus on all of those negative things. But in order to have an attitude of gratitude, a true attitude of gratitude, we must focus on the positive. So, what are some of the positive things that have come out of COVID-19 or come out of 2020, I would say? Well, some people got to make reconnections with their family members that they didn't have before. A new appreciation for your family, a new appreciation for your loved ones. Being quarantined with people can have its good parts and its bad parts, especially if you start getting on each other's nerves. But for the most part, I think most of us cherished having that time. Now, if you live alone, then you may not have that, you don't have anybody to quarantine with. But I hope that you still were able to interact with your family more, still be able to have that connection with your family more. So then that's going to deepen our appreciation for each other and deepen those connections with our family members. There may have been family members that you were estranged from. You just didn't get along. But this new realization of how short life is, this new realization of how we miss being connected with each other can open you up to rekindling those relationships. So that's one positive that has come out of 2020. Another positive that's come out of 2020 is a lot of people took that time during quarantine to branch into doing new things. People started businesses, people expanded businesses, people wrote books, people were creative, all because we were no longer busy. We no longer had that time where our minds were just racing, racing, racing all the time. When you're quarantined, you kind of have to slow down. You have no choice but to slow down. And even with things opening back up, we're still not able to move like we used to move. So it still gives you that opportunity to kind of slow down. And with 2020, we had the opportunity to write out those visions, those dreams that we wanted to have and actually start walking into them or even discovering new dreams. I can say for me, one thing that 2020 brought me was I started my podcast. We Are the Church with Sherry Jones. That was something that was not on my radar, but it was actually inspired by a message that I did for you all for my Speak Life moment in March, back when they shut the churches down. And I did this message called We Are the Church. And I was sharing with you all how impressed I was that even though the churches were shut down, the gospel was still going forth. And that's another good thing that has come out of 2020. There were ministries that had never been on social media before, never utilized technology, and they were kind of forced and pushed into expanding their horizons and actually utilizing this amazing platform to reach more people and to reach more souls. How awesome is that? Us really using the tools that are at our disposal to evangelize. So that's another positive that's come out of 2020. But the podcast was definitely a positive for me, and it has really expanded my horizons. I've made divine connections with people I never dreamed of meeting. And so that was something positive out of 2020. So I think if you think hard enough, you can think of something positive that came out of 2020. Just to show a comment here, see Latasha says, I love this time in quarantine with my family. #grateful. That's right. That's right, Latasha. It has really been a cherished time with our families. Okay. So let's think of something positive. If you just like Latasha did, if you're looking on Facebook, on Instagram, drop something in the comment. Let me know of something positive that came out of 2020 for you. Okay. So let's focus on the positive. Don't focus on the negative. Don't focus on all the crazy. But in order to have an attitude of gratitude, we must focus on the positive. And one thing, if you can't think of anything positive, just think of the fact that you opened your eyes this morning. Think of the fact that you're able to be on this live, that you're able to listen, that you're able to engage. There are so many people that went to sleep last night and didn't wake up this morning. So let's be grateful for that. Have another comment here on Facebook. Monica says, I value life way more than I did before. That's right, Monica. We must value life. And everything that we've gone through in 2020 has definitely caused us to value our lives more. Definitely, definitely, definitely. Okay. So now we've talked about focusing on the positive. What's the next thing that we can do to have an attitude of gratitude? Look forward to the peace beyond the storm. You may be in a storm right now, and it may be extra hard for you to think of something positive. Oh, I have a comment here on Instagram. Lady E says, I'm grateful for a deeper relationship with my children. Oh, that is so wonderful. Thank you for that, Lady E. So she has a deeper relationship with her children because of everything that's going on with 2020. So definitely the positive. But again, our second point, let's look forward to the peace beyond the storm. So you may be in a storm right now. Maybe you're financially strapped. You can barely rub two nickels together. You might be begging Peter to pay Paul. I can relate. I can testify to that. I can testify to that as well. Maybe you are just in a bad place mentally, because everything that has gone on has been taxing and draining on us emotionally and mentally. So for you, it's hard to look at the positive because you're in the midst of a storm right now. Maybe you've lost a loved one to COVID or to another illness or accident or anything. But you've lost someone close to you. That's hard. Maybe you're battling illness yourself. Maybe you have COVID or you have another illness, or maybe you suffer from a chronic illness. And so right now you are in a storm. It's hard. It's tough. I know. So how do you have an attitude of gratitude in the midst of the storm? You have to look beyond the storm and look to the peace, because the storm is not going to last always. The word tells us it's a time to mourn, it's a time to cry, but it's a time to have joy. It's a time for everything. So you're in the storm right now, but there's peace beyond that storm. And what you have to do is look forward to the peace. I know that sounds easier than said than done. When you're in the middle of a storm, you're just trying to get through the day to day. You're just trying to make it. You may be thinking it's a waste of time to look beyond the storm. It's a waste of time to be optimistic and hopeful, because you're in the middle of something right now. But I'm telling you, if you take that focus away from the storm and look forward to what's coming out of the storm, you'll be able to have an attitude of gratitude, because our storms are there to teach us something. I know that sounds crazy, but we learn and we grow from our storms. You all just talked about this storm of 2020 and COVID and everything, the things that you have gained, being closer to your family, being closer to your children. from us being closer to the Lord. You've gained something. And sometimes we have to go through the storm in order to learn those lessons and also to lean and depend on God. Because when you're in the midst of the storm and maybe, you don't have the family and friends around you to support you and to cheer you up and to puff you up, the only thing you have is God. The only thing you have is the word of God. That's the only thing you have to stand on in the midst of the storm. Those are the times that we have to cling closer to our Savior when we're in the storm. And we have to trust that, as Romans 8:28 tells us, that all things are going to work together for our good, even the storm. So shift your focus from what you're going through to what it's going to be like when you get out of the storm. When you get out of the storm, you're going to be stronger. When you get out of the storm, you're going to be wiser. When you get out of the storm, you're going to have more of a sense of self. When you get out of the storm, you're going to be confident in your relationship with God. When you get out of the storm, you will be redeemed. That's what you must focus on, not the storm. I see Nisi is on Instagram. She said, yes, that's right. Hand claps. Thank you so much. Thank you. So let's focus on what's beyond the storm. Don't get so caught up in the storm. I mean, you have to be caught up in the storm because you have to go through the storm. But we're pushing beyond the storm. We're looking forward to what we're going to gain after that storm. Because for a lot of us, if things were always going easy peasy, if we never had any trouble, if we were just chilling, we would never call on God. We wouldn't pray. We wouldn't crack open our Bible because we wouldn't have a reason to, because everything's going good. But we know when we're going through a storm, who's the first person we call? We call on Jesus. And so sometimes we have to go through those storms to put us on our knees and to put us in a position where only He can get us out of, so that He can get the glory in our lives, so He can get the glory in our storms. Because if we can do it on our own strength, we wouldn't have any need to seek Him. So sometimes when we've lost our focus and we're too focused on ourselves, we're too focused on our own strength, a storm will come to help us to remember where our strength comes from. And our strength comes from the Lord. Okay. So thank y'all. Thank y'all for the love and the comments here. So that's really what we need to do. So our second point is we're looking forward to the peace beyond the storm. Okay. So we've talked about looking at the positive, looking for the peace beyond the storm. So what else do we need to do to have an attitude of gratitude? Y'all guessed it. Give to others. Take the focus off yourself. It's not all about you. I know sometimes we think it is. I know I do sometimes. I think, I'm all, I'm good. I'm chilling. I'm all that, especially when you have so much going on in your life. It's easy to just focus on you, just focus on your family, just focus on your friends, just focus on your business, your ministry, all the stuff that you're doing, which is great. Everything you're doing is great. But how is what you're doing impacting somebody else? It's not supposed to just be about you and helping your family. If that's your focus, you might need to rethink things. You need to be asking yourself, what am I doing to help somebody else? And when I say give to others, I know it's Thanksgiving time. And a lot of us that, we donate to charitable organizations, which is great. I'm not saying don't do that. Don't go say Sherry. Sherry said I shouldn't donate a turkey. I'm not saying that. Okay. We donate to charitable organizations. We give money. We give dinners. We volunteer to help the homeless and that kind of thing. And all of those things are wonderful. But we shouldn't just think about those things once a year or twice a year, because we do it for Christmas too. But what are we doing on a consistent basis to give to others? And it doesn't have to be monetary. Give your time. Talk with someone that needs a shoulder to lean on. Give advice to someone. Mentor a young person. Chat it up with them. See how they're doing. Check in on them. What can you do to give to others? To give your time, to give your support, to give your encouragement. What can you do to give to others? Those of us that, may have groups and communities. I have my group, Glory Carries Women's Network. Love the ladies. I love the ladies. A lot of them are on right now. I appreciate them. But I do my best to give to them, to give them my time, to give them my heart, to give them my love, to pray for them, to encourage them. So it doesn't always have to be money in order to give to someone. But every day is an opportunity for you to give to someone else. Every single day. It doesn't have to be big. You don't have to buy someone some new Jordans or buy them a car or all of those things. And when you think about our children cherish memories. They cherish the time that you spend with them. They cherish, laughing at silly jokes or watching a show with you. When they're older, they're going to remember that more than they remember some fancy thing that you bought them. So spending time with your children, quality time, that's a way to give to others. Shifting the focus off of you and what you're doing and making it all about me, me, me. Give to someone else. Give the gift of your time. Give the gift of your attention. Give the gift of your anointing. We're all anointed to do something. We all have gifts and talents to share. Share it with somebody. Give it to somebody. That's what we need to do. Give to others. Let's see a comment here on Facebook. Millie says, take care of God's business and he will take care of yours. That's right, Millie. That preach right there. Y'all, she does share the sermon. But that is so true. If we take care of God's business, then he is going to take care of ours. Then she also says here to uplift. Okay, and Monica says, give your time and listening ear. That's right. Your time and your listening ear. That's more valuable than gold, y'all. It really is. And then Millie says, uplift someone every day. That's right. Uplift someone every single day. Give someone your time. Give someone your listening ear. Give someone some encouragement, uplift them. Smile at somebody. Now, it's just as simple as smiling at someone. I know it's hard with the mask. We can't really smile like we used to. That's the one thing I miss, y'all. I miss smiling at people. I miss hugging people. I'm a hugger. How many huggers are in the room? But I love hugging people. So that social interaction, that's one thing that I miss so much about everything with COVID-19. And that's the one thing that I'm looking forward to. Like you said, looking for something beyond the storm. I'm looking forward to the day where I can greet somebody with a hug, because sometimes that's something that people need more than money, more than anything. They need to know that they're loved. They need to know that they're appreciated. And you giving someone a good hug or giving them a good smile, oh, that's priceless. That's priceless. Monica says, I'm a hugger too. Yes. And, Lisa's giving some hearts. Yes. Huggers unite, y'all. We're feeling it in the midst of this COVID. Can't hug anybody. Oh my God. I miss it so much. But we can't hug people, but we can give someone a phone call. We can FaceTime or Duo somebody, whatever your technology is. We can organize a Zoom call and just say hi. How are you today? How are you feeling? Check in. Sometimes we have to check in on people, and it's the strong people that you have to check in on. Not the, sometimes we look at our friends that seem to have it together. They seem to be doing all of this stuff. They're the encourager. Sometimes the encourager needs encouragement. The strong friends need to be checked on too. So don't forget the strong friends. Check in on them too and make sure that they're doing okay. So that's our way that we can give to each other. Okay, let's see. Millie's giving us a tip though here with the how to smile. I thought I had it here. Okay, here it is. Okay, she says, yes, I've learned to smile with my eyes. That's right. We can't. Didn't Tyra Banks teach us out? I might be aging myself, but America's not next top model. Then she tell us to smile with your eyes. So now that we got the mask, we can smile with our eyes. They might not be able to see our smile, our mouth, but we can smile with our eyes. And the eyes are the windows to the soul. So people know when you look at them in a friendly way, and that you're trying to share love with them and sharing the love of God with them. People know that. They can feel it even beyond the mask. I see Tanisha says, you got that right. That's right. And then she also says, don't forget the strong friends. That's right. Let's not forget the strong friends. So that was my message this evening. Attitude of gratitude. And just to recap, y'all know I like to recap just to make sure we are reiterating what we talked about and what we learned today. First of all, what we're going to do? Focus on the positive. Don't focus on the negative. Don't focus on, all this crazy that's going on. Find something positive. Find something positive to focus on. Then, what we're going to do next? We're going to look forward to the peace beyond the storm. There is peace beyond the storm, y'all. Trouble don't last always. A little plug in for my first book. But that is the title of it. Trouble don't last always. But that is so true. It's more than a book. It's more than a song. It's the truth. So let's look forward to the peace beyond the storm. And then lastly, give to others. And how are we giving to others? Not just monetarily, not just things, but we're giving our time, our listening ear. We're giving a smiles with our eyes. We're giving an encouraging word. Shift the focus from yourself and give to others. And that's how you will have an attitude of gratitude. So I hope that you all enjoyed this message this evening. Tanisha says, awesome tips. Thank you so much, Tanisha. Hope that you all enjoyed this message and that it just reminds you to have an attitude of gratitude, not just for Thanksgiving, not just for Christmas, but all year long. Again, I am Sherry Jones. I am your Speak Life midwife, here to teach you how to speak life, love yourself, and impact the world so you can birth the greatness within. Yes, there is greatness inside of you, and it's just waiting to come on out. Push it on out, y'all. Push it on out. But I am here to help you push it on out. Okay. I have two books. As I mentioned one of my books before, but Trouble Don't Last Always. But I also have a book, Speak Life Moments. Just like these videos where I come on and I chat with you. In this book, I dig deep and I share moments in my life that helped me to be able to sit here and share these Speak Life moments with you. I did not always have an attitude of gratitude. I had very low self esteem. I was not the most positive person. But by learning how to speak life and learning the importance of my words, I have been able to evolve. And I want to help you do the same thing. So check out the link in the description of this video. Um, my Pop Gospel Speaks family. You can go to my website, sherryspeakslife.com, and learn about the books. And I'm also starting a coaching program for aspiring writers. I want to help you to be able to tell your story and speak life with your story, because your testimony is not for you, it's for someone else. So click that link and learn more about that as well. If you don't have the link, you can go to bit.ly/, how to speak life, and learn about that coaching program as well. But thank you all so much for being here with me today. I see Samantha says, thank you so much for helping us to refocus. You are most welcome. Monica says, great message. She loves me. I love you too, boo. And then Millie says that we must see beyond what we see. Great speak life moment. Thank you so much. But you all take care. You all be blessed. I love you with the love of Christ. And I will be back on next Monday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for another Speak Life moment. All right. I'm going to log off now with my Pop Gospel Speaks Radio family. Thank you so much, Pop Gospel Speaks Radio family, for tuning in. And I look forward to chatting with you next week. All right, Facebook and IG. Thank y'all so much for hanging in there with me and listening to today's message. Again, I love y'all so much with the love of Christ. You all be blessed, and I will see you on the flip. Bye.